Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second episode of The Garden Party. You are watching abstract acrylic painting on my channel, The Art Empress. I never have a plan when I go into a new painting. It's all intuitive. I do have a plan though. I need to clean my studio first. That large portrait will not be able to be saved. I am so sorry. Actually, rearranging that felt so good. Freed up the whole other side of the room so I can stand back from the paintings. So next, some things have been added since last time. The fluorescent pink on the left-hand corner there, I wanted, all those little circles were bothering me. So I am attempting to figure that out. And let me say happy holidays and happy new year to you all. I've been painting a lot of circles and spheres lately. The last two paintings I did had the ovals and the swooshes, very organic shapes, and I really love them. So it's rather made sort of a grid of spheres. You'll see me beginning the second painting, which is the same size, 5x6, and I'm laying in the backgrounds for it, and it turns out really pretty. In this video, I wanted to add commentary and see if you guys like that. So let me know. Thank you. This is the light blue violet that I'm using to edit out some of the shapes. I didn't want to edit this video very much right here because it gets in a flow and it's sometimes annoying if it gets interrupted too much. Here I am going to save that little clover-like shape, the green one. I'm going to save that. Here's a photo of the painting from last week, just for reference. And I wanted to talk to you about some of my takeaways from last week's video. A lot of people were saying they like the dimensionality because in certain areas, let's see, like here, it looks like it's reflective, like it's painted on a mirror. And it's not, it's just the underpainting. But everybody wants me to, this is really nice. I'm going to save that. But then people get upset if I paint over, like I probably won't paint over this one either. And that's all underpainting with an outline. And I like also this part. It has that see-through, the dimension effect. But it is my painting, so I will do what it says and what I feel like. And I love it. Also, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. That really helps me grow. So if you like this kind of content, please do so. Thank you. This is where I'm standing back a little bit so I can see the whole and decide what needs to be done next. This color is really lightening and brightening up this area, and that really helps a lot. I like that. In this tub, I have titanium white, pearlescent white, is it phosphorescent blue? And yeah, I think it is, but it could be, what's the other one? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a mix of things. And some light blue violet on my brush and palette. If you find this too slow, of course you can speed it up. Last week I did the sped up version first, and I'm just trying to see what works better for my audience. So let me know. This white mixture has such a nice reflective glow to it. This shape right here in the left-hand corner, it reminds me of something spacey, like a little spaceship or something like that. It has that effect, the Jetsons, or I don't know. I don't know if you see the little teacup above it and the other circle on its side. All of these circles in the painting reminded me of people's faces, like a group of different personalities. And then, of course, some flower motifs. And that's why I called it the garden party. And because of the color and the fun. I really didn't like that purple that I'm covering up. There was something very wrong about that color. This is really nice because it's opening up more background space. So everything is not so jumbled in the corner and all crowded. So it's freeing up visual weight. The light yellow circle to the left of the painting, you'll see, is not finished. I wasn't sure what to do with it last week, but now I have an idea. Let's flip this painting. Here are a few different angles after I've painted the blue back in there. And just so you can see the entire painting. Turning this helps me see it from a different side, a different viewpoint. This is 5 feet by 6 feet. It's as big as I can handle with my arms, and they're very long arms. Now I can work on another section at the top. I have this fluorescent red that I have been wanting to use. So now we're going to use it for what I think are flower petals. This is a great color. I'm just putting them in without really any thought. That's the best way. You get your mind to need to do it intuitively and feel it, because your mind can mess it up. There is a place for thinking, but it's not when you're painting it. Tell me what shapes you can see in this painting. This is Prussian blue. It's a very deep blue, some warmth to it. I'm going to put the Prussian blue around these fluorescent oval shapes, and then I'll add some white so you can see the contrast. I'm using a number 12 round brush for this, and it's a really great size brush for a big painting. The white blends really beautifully with the Prussian blue, wet on wet, and so you can see the Prussian blue in its lighter shade. I got the idea to add a little tree here, and then the little bulbs are on top. I will put some highlights around this and some detail on the tree branches, some contrast, maybe some silver. I apologize, I got this in the wrong sequence, but you can still see me paint it. I have some fluorescent green I'm going to put in these petals. There's a lot of fluorescent green in the rest of the painting, so it works. I'm just painting directly from the tube since it's such a little tube of paint. These fluorescent colors are Liquitex and Golden, specifically. If you want to try them, they're really fun. But they are the professional level paints. Liquitex has an academic level called Artist Loft. I don't use that. It doesn't have as much pigment in it. This is phthalo green. It's a deep green with blue in it that I'm outlining these peach shapes with, just for some good contrast, and also because green is a color in nature and has to do with plants, and so there's the theme of the overall painting. So we're on to the next painting. I've covered this with a mixture of white house paint and fluorescent yellow and some interference blue, and I just painted that on with a brush. Now I have ultramarine, and I'm going to drip some of this on top of it. You can see all those fluorescent colors reflecting in that glow of the wet paint. This is a wet on wet technique because the background is still wet from when I painted it, so the blue and the white will mix. This is a very messy way to apply paint, so it's going to get even messier in a minute when I turn it around, the painting, because I'm just not very patient when I want to paint, so it's my fault. So here I have a lovely Liquitex blending brush. It is such a beautiful brush. I'm not really trying to make a definite shape here. I'm just moving around the paint on the canvas, just playing and adding a little water so it has more movability. I'm adding Naples yellow, which is the warmer yellow, and fluorescent yellow. I'm using a 4-inch house painting brush for this. I'm throwing some rather dirty water onto it. I have a quart cup full of my dirty brushes, but the water in there tends to have like a light translucent color to it. I think it's sort of a dirty green. I'm going to turn this very wet painting, and it's going to be messy. You could wear gloves for this, but I'm so used to having paint on my hands and everywhere else, so it doesn't bother me. And it doesn't matter if you get fingerprints at this point, because it's going to be painted again. I'm using a small weenie roller to softly blend the colors together. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's really relaxing. You can make an entire painting using only weenie rollers. I've made a couple, and they turned out really good. In that case, you would do this first step and then let it dry, and then go back in with another color and just play with the angle and what kind of patterns and shapes you want to make over top of that. That pink and purple are coming through from the previous painting underneath. And that painting, I was doing a portrait of my niece, and I just haven't done a portrait in so many years. I was frustrated and I was forcing it, so I just said, you know what? It's time to stop. It really starts to have a glow because I put in the fluorescent colors in the lay-in color, the fluorescent yellow, and the interference blue and the pearlescent white, which are fantastic. It's sort of, once you start to mix them together, it starts to come out. And overall, when I looked at this after it dried, it has a sort of Monet like effect. So that that will be drying, and I'm looking at this painting, and I see a lot of things I want to do to it. Like I said, the highlights on the tree, a little tree, and there's a lot of other places I've figured out since last week I want to do. I'm looking at this painting. The frame on it got warped fairly badly. I don't know how. I just got this canvas this summer, and so I'm trying to hang it on my anchors, and I think it's sticking out from the wall about 5 inches on the one side. So I'm gonna have to do some research how to right that matter. I do know a carpenter could probably do that for me. Anyway, yikes. I finally got it to hang. I can't believe it. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. Moving it over. Okay. I apologize for my sniffles. I have a cold. So, last video I worked on this first painting of the garden party series. I added a tree in here since the last time, and I'm pretty happy with where it is at this point. It's not quite finished, but I started working on its counterpart, the laying colors right here. And this is just some sloppy throwing some paint around so I can begin. Once I start working on this piece, I will be able to interact with both of the pieces, and then it will be a lot easier for me to figure out when they're both talking to each other, when they're both finished. Right now it's just playtime. I'm gonna start painting on this one a darker color and see what happens. Well, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me, and I'll see you next time.